Hello guys, this is just a video covering what happened yesterday at the EBU General Assembly and my thoughts at the moment. To clarify, there will not be the big editing here. I don't really want to jazzify up this video to make it more YouTube proof, more view proof. I just rather not do that. There'll be minimal edits. There might be some cuts here if I stumble on a word or pause for a bit. And also apologize for the lighting. I'm recording this during the daytime. The blinds can only do so much that I have in my room. So with that out the way, Israel is staying. It's as matter of fact as that. And at the time of recording, I don't believe any more have left at this point. Spain, Netherlands, Slovenia and Ireland have all withdrawn. They're all boycotting. I said in previous videos that once we had the decision, we all had the opportunity to sit in our thoughts and move on how we felt best. And I'm currently in, and have been since the decision last evening, in the process of sitting. I mean, literally, of course. I can still crack some jokes, but in my emotions and just staying there for a bit. So before we get into the main thing that I wanted to discuss, I just wanted to say I'm gutted to see Netherlands, Spain, Slovenia, Ireland go, and any more that follow in the next days. They're all staples of not only my time at Eurovision, but Eurovision history. Ireland are the joint record holders of Eurovision victories. Spain are a member of the Big Five. Netherlands are one of the biggest countries in Eurovision. And Slovenia has its place, it has some brilliant entries as well. They'll all be deeply missed. For justifiable reasons why they're leaving. I'm not saying otherwise. Ireland will probably hurt me most because I've got a lot of friends from Ireland. Some of my closest friends, my longest serving friends are from Ireland. Very kindly, Connor from Eurovision, we had a nice chat last night, which helped. And I will still be friends with a lot of these people. But it's, you don't know whether it'll be all. Just from a geographical, logistical standpoint. And, some of my best moments from my time as a Eurovision fan were in 2023, watching the final with loads of them. Seeing them become honorary Belgium supporters because Ireland wasn't in the final and chanting at the top of their lungs, "Daddy with a hat, Daddy with a hat." And then also just being with in the arena in 2025, the stadium, I should say, with Connor for the Eurovision final and having that moment of embrace after JJ won, I have to admit, instead of Israel, because it was that sigh of relief and that moment of jubilation. It feels likely I'll never get those again with my Irish friends. It's a shame. But that's a small part of it. I feel like I could be angry in this moment, and I am, to an extent, about various things, which we'll come on to. But being angry about the decision and about Eurovision at this point, it almost feels too late. At this point, this decision yesterday feels permanent. And it's almost an indication that to the broadcasters, to the EBU, to various people organising Eurovision, that the last 2 years, both in Eurovision and outside of Eurovision, doesn't matter. All the chaos and drama and emotional stress put on the artists, everything that was covered in Stuart's brilliant 40-minute video. Again, if you haven't watched it, please do. Everything that's happened in Gaza, all the deaths, it doesn't matter. That's how it feels right now. And there's something a matter of fact about that, and it's, again, linking to the 4 withdrawals. If Israel had gone, it feels like there was a world where they could come back. You know, if they stopped killing people and their genocide in Gaza for a start, and also just played by the rules at Eurovision, or just were actually punished for what they've done the last 2 years. With these 4 countries, and potentially any more joining them, it feels a lot more permanent. I don't know how the EBU builds that trust back with Netherlands, Ireland, Spain, Slovenia. I don't know how they do it. Because they've been shown that despite their protests and their significance in the contest, they don't matter. At least not more than one country. And look, when it comes to the EBU, I am annoyed at them, but it goes bigger than this. They're not, sadly, going against the grain by keeping Israel in competition. It goes bigger than that. It goes towards the wider political scale, sadly, and the wider media scale across a lot of countries. Not all. Not all. I know Ireland, for example, is very, very pro-Palestine. They've just elected a new president, prime minister, apologies, which one it is. But they've just elected that. But in, for example, the UK, in the US in particular, and I'm sure many, many more countries that I'm not mentioning here, the situation's more complex, and they cover the conflict in Gaza in a certain way, which seems baffling and maddening to me, especially after the last few months where I've looked into it more. I've hated every second of looking into it, but I've looked into it more, and it's, look, here's my stance on it. You know, you see stories all the time about Israel has a right to defend itself. They're testing the ceasefire. You know, there's been ceasefire breaches and a threat to the IDF. One of those threats recently to end a ceasefire breach was 2 kids, I believe they were 8 and 11 years old, crossing to get firewood. They felt the need to kill those. 2 kids. Ceasefire breach. Look, I saw the tweet that they put out. Either the IDF is, either they are using that and twisting narrative fixing, or they need to improve their army if they're threatened by an 11 and an 8-year-old kid. But anyway, all of that language, all of the complexities that there supposedly is in this Gaza conflict. Over 70,000 people have died in Gaza in the last 2 years because of Israel. And over 300 have died since this ceasefire. In my maybe naive political head, that all the complexities go out the window. That should be the focus. And the fact it's not as sickening, apologies there. That's where this impartiality, apolitical nature that the EBU supposedly has is so maddening. Because how are the broadcasters and the EBU not smart enough to realise what Israel have used this contest for in the last 2 years? How? Because when Israel won the televote last year, did anyone think it was due to the song? Name one person that genuinely thought it was due to the song and the artist. No one thought that. No one at least reported it in the news. Everyone said it was a show, a sign of support for the Israel government and their cause. And that's what they want. They want representation and support for their government. And look, maybe with these new rules, either they'll find another way to go around them and win the contest, or they'll try and fade into the background and, you know, come 15th, you know, not really challenging the top. Either way, it's not the point. That doesn't matter. They've not been punished for the last 2 years. And instead, Eurovision's been punished. Ironically, by the people that run it. who again say that this is apolitical, yet there's stories of a key member of ORF, apologies I've forgotten his name, going to meet with the Israel president, and the fact that the Israel president has been influential in keeping Israel in the contest. But again, we get shut down whenever we say it's, not broadcasters as opposed to countries, and it's not a political event. It's complete crap. It's complete rubbish. So I have a couple messages, I think, for people. I have for 3 sets of people. First of all, for the EBU, you had the chance to bring back the magic of Eurovision. You had the chance many times, not just yesterday, to do what's right in terms of Eurovision and in terms of the world, and you failed. And let me ask you this. Across both ORF, the Austrian broadcaster, and the EBU, it's the 70th anniversary this year. They want this to be about music, about celebrating culture and diversity. Do you really think that's what the coverage is going to be about? After the last 2 years, really? And not about why is these countries withdrawing? Why is there not a member of the Big Five in it anymore? Why is one of the record holders for Eurovision not in it? And why are they still in it? And I can assure you, for working on a media site, the focus will be on Israel. It will always be until you kick them out. So don't get it twisted that that this is some kind of positive. And that's what they were promoting this as a good thing, that, we had this open discussion, this meeting yesterday, and we had a show of support and apolitical impartiality. You had a meeting yesterday where 4 people immediately withdrew from your contest afterwards. How can you see that as a positive? Good on you if you can, fair play. So then my message to people that are happy about Israel taking part in the contest still and support Israel and Israelis. First of all, fair play. Your government has done it. Your government has manipulated mindsets to keep you in and helped the EBU in a way. I'm sure you're celebrating. I'm sure that you feel joy right now. And hell, based on my day after Eurovision video, I'm sure you're going to leave a lot of comments of hate towards me and calls for anti-Semitism. I'll say 2 things on that. Leave them. At this point, I don't care. You can't hurt me anymore right now. And I know what I am. I know that calling out 70,000 deaths in the last 2 years, including many of children, and 300 plus since the ceasefire agreement, and calling out what you have done at Eurovision in the last 2 years, I know that's not anti-Semitic. Any sane person knows that. Any person denying that is narrative fixing. And this is specifically to people who intend on voting for Israel, not due to the song, but due to showing a sign of support, because people will do that. Still, I want you to cherish that choice. Make the most of that choice. Be grateful for that choice. Because it is a choice. It is a choice you are making. I can't stop you making that choice. But I want you to be grateful for that choice. Because you're supporting a country that has killed thousands of children too young to ever make a choice in their life, substantial or otherwise. So then on to the final message. And this comes on to the what's next. When it comes to you, the fans, when it comes to people watching this, it's completely up to you. It's completely up to you what is next. Whether you follow the contest, whether you leave, whether you trial, following national finals, whatever. It's completely up to you. Any way that you proceed forward here in a respectful way is fine. I'm not here to judge. I respect whatever, And this is also just a message to me, to be fair. As for what's next for my channel, I don't know. Is the answer. I don't know. And for my following of Eurovision, I also don't know. At this point, I'm sitting in the emotions. Give it a day or two and maybe I'll know. But I suppose people might be asking why not just quit immediately? Eurovision goes deeper than songs in the last couple of years for me. I know what I was like before Eurovision in terms of my confidence levels and my social interactions. And I know what Eurovision's done for me. It's made me travel the world. It's helped me boost my confidence, and it's been a place for me. It's given me purpose. It's given me, I met my girlfriend for Eurovision. 95% of my friends are from Eurovision. It's hard to immediately give it up. It's not a decision that I take lightly. And I'm not saying I am. I don't know. I just know that if you ask me to listen to Eurovision music right now, I don't want to. At least not today. I know that Estonia and Latvia's entries are out. I haven't listened to them yet. I plan on leaving them for if I end up doing a video. And yeah, I mean, to give you an anecdote, Georgia, bless her, who I feel bad for right now, she spoke to me when the Melfest artists were released. And it's a very Harry-coded lineup. It's Gretzela, Smash Into Pieces, Medina, all artists I love from previous years of Melfest. And she asked, am I excited? And I was like, kind of. I just can't really be fully excited about anything Eurovision right now. And this was before the vote. So now it's, I don't know. I mean, in terms of events, I'm still going to UMK. I'm still going to Vienna. How much Eurovision stuff I do in Vienna, that's a long way away. So I don't know. But right now, I can assure you that regardless of the unknown of the channel, regardless of my unknown of the coverage of Eurovision, one thing I do know right now is I need to focus on me. The last few months, I'd say since September, have been tough. Without going into too much detail, some days are fine. Others are, struggle. And I struggle to articulate because I thrive off energy. I thrive off positivity. Two things the Eurovision community has been lacking a lot recently. And I've been struggling with that as well. And to be honest, I just feel bad for people watching this video and for my friends right now of what I am in terms of positivity and energy. This is not the Harry that you guys know and my friends know. I'm sorry I am what I'm like right now. I want to improve. And I'm sure in time I will. So that's my focus. A lot of people say, I'm sure it will get better. My mentality is I need to get better. I need to get better for my girl, to be the best boyfriend I can be, to be the best friend I can be, and just for myself. So that's all I have. I appreciate this is 20 minutes. If you've listened to all of this, legend, love you. Even if you listen to part of this, I respect. This is a ramble. This is not meant to be a YouTubified video. So I for the longest time, struggled to figure out how to end this video when thinking about this video. And I'll just say this. I want this video to end. As much as you do, I'm sure. I want a lot of things to end. I want the current world politics to be over with. I want this crap version of Eurovision to be over with. I want my current version of energy and negativity to be over with. And I want, most importantly, the deaths in Gaza to be over with. And I suppose the only other thing I can say on the matter right now is fuck the EBU. Take care, guys.